Hello, West Middle School parents. My name is Mr. Biles, and I'm the assistant principal here at the middle school. I just wanted to take a brief moment to go over the packet that was sent home with your child on Tuesday, along with their progress report. Now, there are multiple sheets within that packet. All of them have great importance, but I want to make sure that everybody understood what each one of those forms are for. So if your child received this form, it would have been the first sheet on their packet. It's one of these colorful ones that you see here. That is actually our tutorial sheet. Now, if your child did receive one of those, that is going to be mandatory for them to attend. That sheet states the dates and times in which your child has tutorials, as well as the teacher that they have those tutorials with. I'm going to take a brief minute to show you what that sheet looks like. I'm going to share my screen. Okay, so that is the sheet you see here is what you will be seeing if they did receive this as their first sheet of paper on that packet. Again, it's going to be one of those colorful formats that I just showed you. It basically states the 3 weeks in which we are offering the tutorials. Now, the most important part of this is the time in which your child needs to arrive. So if they are a part of the morning session, they need to be here at the school at 7:15, and that session will go from 7:15 till 7:55. If they are assigned the afternoon session, that goes from 3:15 till 4 o'clock, and we ask that you have a ride available for your students by 4 o'clock. So those are mandatory. They are not a form of punishment. It is simply us trying to help your child meet their growth measurement on our next STAAR interim. So that will, again, that's going to be the first sheet on that packet. The second sheet will actually be your child's progress report for this reporting period. And then the third sheet in that document is actually going to be a cover letter for the parents to sign off on. Now, that cover letter basically just states that the parent and the child went over their STAAR interim results together, and then we just need a signature down there at the bottom. Again, I'm going to take a brief minute to share with you what that document actually looks like. Okay, so here's what that document looks like. And again, it basically just states that your child's most recent STAAR interim results are attached, and we just ask that you do go over that with your child to see where they stand. And then down here at the bottom, you'll notice that we'll need the student's name and signature, as well as the parent's name and signature. And we do need this returned to the school. We are asking that you return this by the end of this week, which means Friday, and the student needs to return that to their English language arts teacher. Okay, and then I'm going to share with you what those STAAR interim results look like, those last 2 to 4 sheets of paper of that packet, and I'll kind of want to explain what that is and what these percentage points mean on those pages so that there's no confusion going forward. So again, I'm going to take a minute to share my screen with you guys. Okay, this is our example here. We're going to pretend that this student is a 6th grade math student, and what you'll notice here on this very first line, it states that on the most recent administered STAAR assessment in 2019, this student scored a performance level of approaches. Now, again, this is a 2019 STAAR test. That's the most recent STAAR we've taken, which was 2 years ago. We didn't take ours last year, obviously, due to COVID. But I do want to remind you of the 4 different performance levels within STAAR. The first one is did not meet. The second one is approaches. The third is meets, and the last is masters. So again, in this example, this student scored approaches in their 6th grade, on their 6th grade math STAAR. The second line there you see, it says this year in November when I took the TEA STAAR interim for the first time, I scored 47% of the questions correct. Again, this is on a percentage scale. So I'm going to talk about this in just a second and how that relates to our performance levels of STAAR. The third sentence you see there, it says when I took the interim assessment again recently in January, I scored 51% of the questions correct. Again, that is on a percentage scale that I'll explain in just a second. And then the last sentence you see there, it says based on my most recent interim assessment, I am on track to score approaches on my 2020-2021 STAAR assessment. Now that is referring to the actual STAAR assessment that will be taken later on in the year. So I really think the most confusion that we've had so far is based off of these 2 percentage points that you see here. I'm going to go to the next slide of this, and hopefully this will explain things better. So remember, we were at 47 and 51%. We'll go over to the score ranges for the STAAR performance levels. So I think most parents were being alarmed with how low those percentages were, But within those two percentages we just saw, at 47 and 51% for sixth grade math, that actually has that student in the approaches level. I think this is where most parents were alarmed with the percentage of questions that were correct, but please understand that the STAAR scoring is on a different scale. So even if your student did see, and you did see on your students' results that they are in the 61 to 78%, so let's say, for example, they scored 65% on their sixth grade math test, that has them in the meets category, which means they are on level. Okay, so I hope that this clears things up a little bit going forward. I hope that if you have any questions still remaining after watching this, that you do contact me. The easiest way to get a hold of me is obviously through phone or through email. So again, if you have any questions after viewing this, please feel free to reach out to me, and I thank you for your time.